President Uhuru Kenyatta's increasingly intense political war against his deputy William Ruto is driven by an elaborate 7-point plan exposing his firm grip on his succession. The president's tell-all details of an alleged plot by his deputy to impeach him have laid bare part of a calculated strategy to further expose and diminish Ruto's State House bid. Former State House Comptroller Bett said the political war pitting the president and his deputy could have been in the works for long and it will only get nastier. It can't be and won't be a year or month's affair, but I plead they spare us this negativity in national interest, the former Moi-era powerful official said. Uhuru on Saturday said he deferred with Ruto after he realized the DP wanted to close ranks with ODM boss Raila Odinga and impeach him at an appropriate time. However, it appears the president's plan for a divorce with Ruto could have been hatched for a long time and executed in bits with a high degree of precision. The plan included whittling down his influence as leader of government development, propping up ODM boss Raila Odinga, and painting Ruto as the enemy of Mount Kenya following his anti-BBI crusade. The president's political mandarins also deliberately deployed State House machinery to prepare Raila, sponsored fringe outfits to slow down Ruto, vigorously revived Jubilee, and ultimately cobbled up the giant Azimio la Umoja movement. Azimio, which has endorsed Raila as its presidential flag bearer, has over 20 political parties including Uhuru's ruling Jubilee and the former Prime Minister's ODM. It is seen as part of the president's elaborate plan to block his deputy from succeeding him and was propelled by the changes to the Political Parties Act that established a coalition political party. The law sailed through Parliament despite spirited opposition from Ruto's camp. At least 30 governors and key regional bigwigs have rallied behind Azimio, forming a formidable machine that has rattled Ruto. The sole purpose of Azimio, just like was BBI, was to isolate Ruto and expose his soft underbelly, said North Mugirango MP Joash Nyamoko. Politicians and analysts say the president's game plan to vanquish the DP has been a long drawn-out political masterstroke that even Ruto could have foreseen. During the burial of Sergeant Kipyegon Kenei in March 2020, an angry Ruto openly claimed that he was aware of the evil schemes that had been planned against him but vowed to soldier on. The plotters of these schemes, I want to let you know that unless you kill me, I am not turning back. Kenya is for everyone. Kenya is not for a few people. Threats, plots, all these things. I even know what they have planned, but I am ready for it, he said. Despite their open bromance and matching shirts after their 2013 victory, tension was simmering and Uhuru was looking for an opportunity to drop him in 2017. Former Energy Cabinet Secretary Charles Keter, a Ruto ally, recently admitted that Uhuru and Ruto could have fallen out with or without the handshake with Raila in 2018. Last week, Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni alleged that the president and Ruto never worked together, saying even the matching shirts were just pretense. Political analyst Martin Anati said the president and his deputy don't share any political ideology and were brought together because of the International Criminal Court cases in 2017. The bromance was never there in the first place, he said. According to the analyst, while Uhuru had for a long time planned to dump Ruto, the DP fell into his trap when he started showing open contempt for the president after the 2017 polls. Ruto blundered by openly showing Uhuru that he does not believe in the status quo of trickle-down, but a new order of bottom-up, and that he said. In January 2019, the president issued an executive order that radically reorganized the executive, whittling down Ruto's influence in government development programs. This was part of the plan to cut Ruto down to size. Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i was appointed to take charge of the National Development Implementation and Communication Cabinet Committee. The DP has protested that in the second term, he was asked to step back and allow the government to build his own legacy, insisting his roles were taken up by Matiang'i. He, in brackets Uhuru, said he wanted somebody else to coordinate programs and work on government assignments, Ruto said in his tour of the UK. Ruto was traversing the country, launching development projects, popularizing himself and engaging citizens as he strategically launched his plan to succeed Uhuru. The Uhuru's allies claimed Ruto used the projects to undermine the president and would often lie that he had been sent by Uhuru with millions of donations. The president never sent him anywhere. If the president sent him, how come sometimes his donations were less than that of the DP? He has been lying to Kenyans, Kioni said. As the DP cried foul, the president's power-wielding men deployed state machinery to prop up Raila as Uhuru's successor, handing him a larger-than-life stature in government. Despite having no formal government job, the ODM boss was furnished with state ledgers and would frequently inspect government projects in the company of state officers. The move not only handed Raila an elevated opportunity to visit various parts of the country, but also access to crucial state details on development plans. He could tour development projects accompanied by cabinet secretaries, principal secretaries, and other top state officials. It was all about preparing Raila to succeed Uhuru, and that is why they deployed status officials to accompany him in his tours, said Kimilili MP Didmas Baraza, an ally of Ruto. Raila became Ruto's harshest critic and Uhuru's defender. Uhuru then lodged a merciless purge on Ruto's allies in Jubilee Party leadership and in Parliament in 2020. Some of the DP's political buddies were kicked out of their key leadership positions in Parliament as Uhuru and Raila took charge. The DP's allies had never committed any sin. They were being sacrificed to pave the way for people who would approve the BBI, said Mumia East MP Benjamin Washiali. The Building Bridges initiative was a constitutional amendment plan to allocate more resources to counties and radically expand the executive. It proposed to reintroduce the Prime Minister post and 2 deputies. The DP's camp termed the move as scheme by Uhuru to extend his rule through the back door. However, the process hit a snag after the High Court and the Court of Appeal last year declared the initiative unconstitutional, null and void. The Supreme Court is to render a verdict any time. The fall of BBI is seen as the leaping point of the Uhuru-Ruto relationship. Uhuru will then launch an aggressive campaign to project Ruto as the enemy of Mount Kenya. The president claimed that the fall of BBI had denied the region billions of shillings that could have been allocated. BBI is just a dream deferred. One day, someday it will happen, Uhuru said in his Jamhuri Day speech last year. In what analysts say was the final blow to Ruto, the president last year publicly declared his preference for Raila as his successor. The president has been openly campaigning for Raila both at State House, where he has hosted delegations, but also in public rallies. We have chosen Raila Odinga, Uhuru told a cheering crowd in Eastlands last week, asking them to vote for the former Prime Minister. This is the first time a sitting president is aggressively campaigning for an opposition leader to succeed him. Uhuru is also aggressively rebranding his Jubilee Party to take on Ruto's UDA in Mount Kenya and other parts of the country. The party has been harvesting defectors from other parties, including UDA, threatening Ruto's fortunes. A strong Jubilee means a weak UDA. That is a broader game plan to destabilize Ruto, said political analyst Dismas Mokua. The president has also embraced other small parties in Mount Kenya as he takes on Ruto in his backyard. Other small parties across the country are supporting his preferred successor, Raila.